Hi friends, it's Becky, and I'm just leaving this covered up for right now so that if you're somebody who's been watching your channels or a playlist or something and this has popped up on like an automatic playing thing and you don't want to be spoiled for the Bargain Bead Box 2025 August box, the Bohemian Nights collection. If you don't want spoilers, go ahead and hit save this for later, come back to this video and watch it after you get your box. But if you want to see some spoilers, you want to see what I'm making with this box, then keep watching. I'm going to give you a minute to do that. We just got this Bargain Bead Box and Jenny unboxed it for us on the channel this month. She also made a really pretty bracelet with it. If you missed her unboxing, I'll put a link to that in the description below so you can go and see what she uncovered, her thoughts on these beads. I'm going to talk about some of them, what my favorite ones are, and we'll get into some designing, because one of the things that I've done is I've challenged myself to every bead box or opening or purchase that I get in the month of August. I'm doing a design on the fly when I open it and get it. So this is going to be my design on the fly for it. So let's get this opened. Are you ready for spoilers? Here we go. So here is my sorted and organized box. Some of my favorite things in this bead box are 100% this beautiful pendant, and I'm probably going to be making with this during my thing. When I was sorting my boxes, I started getting some ideas, and I'm definitely going to make a design with these. I'll do a necklace and some earrings. So now the job is to figure out how I want this to go. So some of my other favorite things in this box are the moon phases beads down here. We've also got, and I absolutely love these. Jenny used these in her design. She didn't put them together exactly this way, but I love these because these little moon beads, they fit so perfectly right up against these moon coin beads. So like the crescent beads, they just snug right up against there. So I'm probably going to be doing something like this in a design at some point in the future. Not today, because I want to use this instead. But for sure, I'm going to be doing some probably beaded links or something like that, or maybe have something else going with these. But isn't that great? I love those. I love how well they fit together like that. It's going to be really great. I love the dyed, oh, I put those in the wrong thing. It's fine. I love the dyed magnesite and the these matte beads as well. Carnelian, awesome. We're going to get some tinges of fall colors with some of these, and it's just a really well balanced, like you've got your cool blues, you've got your warm reds, and not really quite yellows or oranges and stuff. It's going to be really fun, and there are so many charms and links and connectors and things with this. I love the cool spacers, so there's lots to love in this box. But I think I'm going to do some chain. Maybe we'll do chain. I think I'm going to do chain with this. And let's take a look at this blue. I'm going to put this on here so that we get a little less. I'm going to audition some of these blues next to these and see which one I like best. With our guys. Honestly, I think I like this blue best with this pendant. These 10mm faceted beads rather than the turquoise. So I'm going to make, yeah, let's do like a beaded chain. Oop. We're going to make some links and put them in between sections of chain. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to use, the links will just be these guys. I'm wondering if I should use the bead caps on them. No, let's leave the bead caps off for this. My chain is getting a little tangled. But yeah, let's cut up some 1-inch sections of chain. And do that. Let's grab some tools. Got my tools sitting here. Got some round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, and flush cutters. And I believe this chain is thin enough that it's not going to ruin my flush cutters to cut with it. Although I do have a second set. Nope, I can't find it. That's fine. But yeah, let's get some 1-inch sections of chain in here. I think that's going to be a good idea. And let's see what kind of wire I'm going to use for this. About 20 gauge. Let's make sure that the 20 gauge will actually fit through the links. And it does. That's good. So we'll use 20 gauge wire. All right, and we need some 1-inch lengths of these. Now, do I grab some of the moon things? Because we've got some links in here that it might be fun to play with. No. Are these going to be too big though? Maybe? Nope, I don't like the balance on that. Yeah, I'm gonna like that. Little pops of blue amidst the gold. That's gonna work for me. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to need, but let's just start snipping. Here we go. I'd like for these to all be about the same length. So this is going to help me measure the next length if they are all the same. Going to make a little loop on this end to keep the chain from sliding off. Like that. That's about the size of loop that I'm going to want for my thing anyway, that I can use this piece of wire after I'm done with this part. There we go. Now, do believe in making things easy on myself. This makes things easy on myself. I don't have to count links or anything like that. Just measure it out. Hold this one next to the first one. And I'm trying to angle it so that you can see where I'm at too, but it can be a little difficult because I also need to see what I'm doing so that I can get the right link in my my thing. I think let's do 8 of these and then see if I need to add more. Because I might do one that's twice as long for the center section too, for this to hang from. So 2 inches for that one. Maybe I should do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2 more that are this same length. Come on, buddy. There we go. And 1 more. Oh, that one's just a little bit shorter than the other two. The other ones, that's fine. This one's a little too short. That's okay. I can use it for a different project. Ooh, or I can use it on the earrings. Yeah, that one that's a little bit shorter. I'll use that on the earrings. Okay. And one more after this. Because the earrings don't have to be exactly the same length, do they? Okay, so I've got 16 or 6 of these, 6 lengths that are about 1 inch, and now let's get one that's about 2 inches. I'm going to keep this because I'm going to use that piece of wire that I cut and made that loop on for one of my links on this. All right, so 2 inches. It's going to be there. All right, and let's find out where the center of this is. Because it would be nice if this was a odd count, an odd number of links. You can do that by putting both ends on your piece of wire and seeing where it bends. Oh, it is an odd number, so this center one, the center link, I'm going to open up the jump ring on my my pendant, and I'm going to put it through that. So that's going to be how it's going to hang from there. That way it won't slide around between them. It'll hang directly from the center. All right, that's the opening for my jump ring on my pendant. It came with its own jump ring. That's very nice. All right, this is still on here. Where's that center? There it is, that center link. Central link. Right between, wait. Is it? Or is that an even number? I think it's an even number. All right, let me take one of these guys off. Because I want it to be even, or I want an actual center link, not one that's just one link over. There we go. I was just removing one link so that it will actually have an odd number of links on this length of chain. Oh, there it is. That's the one. I can see which one it is. Let's get this through that link. This is always a little bit of a daunting task. To attach a link to a jump ring, especially if it's in the middle of a chain, especially if it's a very delicate chain, because these are small links. So let's try this again with that link right there in the middle. Try and move these aside. Wrong angle. How do I, maybe if I hold the chain, like that, instead of having it dangle, because that's the link that I want it to go into. Whoop! I just lost my, but that might actually be for the best, because now I can maneuver my jump ring into there. Maybe the jump ring might not fit in that link. There just might not be enough room for it. All right, then it looks like we are stringing it on. I was just trying some stuff. Or, let me see if I have another jump ring that might fit that better. Like a smaller jump ring. It's got a bit of a smaller gauge to it. It's a 5mm jump ring, and you can see it's a little bit, maybe. Might be the same size of wire. We'll find out. Oh, where's the middle? I had found the middle, and now I've lost it. There it is. I got the chain on. Ooh, but it does not move or dangle nicely. All right, that's not gonna work for me. So it's part of the design process sometimes, is trying things, figuring out that they don't work, and trying again. So the original jump ring is going on here, or it is flying across the room, and I'm grabbing that other jump ring. and we will just string the chain through the jump ring instead of attaching the jump ring to the chain. And it'll still work. It'll still be a pretty necklace. It will do what I want it to do, which is sit there and look pretty. All right, so I've got all of my little lengths of chain. I've got my double length here, and I'm going to make some beaded chain. And let me walk you through this after I verify that this is going to work for me. Okay, so I'm going to try to do like little links or little loops on each end so it blends in better with the chain and the size of that. So to do that, we're going to be working mostly on the tips of the round nose pliers with our wire. So we're going to put one of the beads on the wire. Actually, let's get a few of these guys on here. Let's do 6 links. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And maybe I should do we'll do the links for the earrings when we get to the earrings. Okay. Because we're still trying things out here. All right. So right here on the end of the wire, closer to the end of my round nose pliers, I'm going to do a simple loop like I normally would, where we bend the wire back, and then I'm going to straighten it out by doing a little bend there. Work harden it, and also just give a little gentle smush. Let's try that again. It slipped on me. I was just trying to close it up a little bit better. That's fine. So I'm not right on the tip of this. I do have a little bit right there. We're just making small loops, some little loops, some itty bitty loops. Let me put that up and give it a little snip. I'm just going to do all of my first loops first, and then we'll do the second loops next. All right. I know this may feel like it's a little chaotic, but it's because I am trying things out. It's part of my little design process. But also I'm 100% certain that this is gonna look good. And one more. Now, I'm going to bend the wire over. I'm holding the whole bead fairly firmly. I'm just going to bend over the top so that we can get our second loop as close to the bead as possible. You can use pliers to do this, but I'm just using my finger to bend that over. And then I usually will measure about 1 centimeter of space, but because these are going to be smaller loops, I'm going to do about 3/5 of it. So instead of the full centimeter, I'm just going to nibble a little bit closer to the bead, like that. And that is a good length for being able to roll up closer to this tip, like this, and get a small loop. And let's get these loops oriented right. I like them to be parallel. Here we go. So just a little bit smaller. And a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. Okay. It's definitely bent off to the side. Let's straighten you out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Okay, and that twist is just me making my loops be parallel. There we go. And one more. Okay. Right. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, plus some more. Actually, I might need to do one more of these on each side. So 2 more links. Let's start getting these put together, and then I can get the rest of these guys involved. Yeah, I think one more and then we'll use just the rest of the length will be just chain with a clasp. Yeah, I like that. All right, so the fun part now is going to be putting the chain together. So I'm going to take each of these links and put the chain on. This is going to take a little while because it's very fiddly. Come on, buddy. Just go on the chain. There we go. Need to make sure there's room between the bead and the end of that wire to get the chain involved. So swing wide. Okay, there we go. We are just popping some beads in between some chain. Kind of like that. And then this one I'm going to attach here. Like that, and then I'll get the other side built out. Then we'll put some, turn those two into some links for the very last part. Should be fairly easy to do. But yeah, I love bargain bead box, and I am so glad that we've got our August box. I like that it's going to be a little bit of a bridge between summer colors and fall colors with our turquoises and aquas, and having those warm carnelian colors kind of easing their way in there. Where is, no, I need to, well, I guess I can do this. That'll be fine. There we go. I got distracted. Forgot what I was doing for a minute. That must happen to other folks too, I'm sure. Definitely a little bit fiddly, but that is okay. Trying to figure out which side of these is the... There we go. That's the open side. So I'm going to put this chain through the jump ring. There we go. Oh, son of a... Whew, all right. Now we're going to add that. All right. Alright, one more link on each of these, and then we'll finish the rest of it with some chain around the back and a clasp. There was one clasp in this back box, but it was a fold-over clasp, and I think I'd like to use that on a bracelet design, so I'll use a lobster clasp for this one. Let me just make some couple links real quick with my 20 gauge wire. It's nice when we get fun things like chain in our box. It's even better when it's chain that my sister could use, so she can actually make things with it. So thanks for including hypoallergenic things, bargain bead box. I like that. And Jenny does have she does talk about in her unboxing which of these products she can use with her metal allergy and which ones she's going to be probably given to me. Because that's usually what happens with her not Jenny safe items. They get sent to Beki. Okay, 1, 2. Now let's figure out how much more chain I'm going to need. I'm just going to take this and hold it up to my neck at the spot that I want it to hang. Okay, so this part hits me about mid-neck, you know, from front to back, about the middle point of that. So I'm going to take my chain now and hold one end at that spot and then the other end at the other spot. It will tell me how long to cut it. Right there. And then I'll need to cut this in half. There we go. So now that that's cut in half, I can attach each side of this chain to the chain that I've already got. And then grab a clasp for the rest of it. Is that a good gold or is not a good gold? I think I like that gold better for that. Couple of 5mm jump rings. And one 6mm jump ring. Okay, let's open and close and attach some links to the chain. And if you're curious, the length for this is about, or exactly 3.5 inches. There we go. So 3.5 inches. Two different lengths. Or two different, yeah, sections that are 3.5 inches in length. So there we go. 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 2 inches. If you are following along at home, wanting to figure out how long to cut your lengths of chain, or you can do it at any length that you want, that you think looks good. This is going to be the right side. That is the side that I like to put the fiddly bits on. So we're going to put the lobster clasp on there. Come on, jump ring. There we go. And I'm just using the smaller jump ring to attach this larger jump ring. Make sure that is closed. Now I have a necklace. It's pretty simple, pretty plain, but I think it's pretty effective too, because I like the clean lines that we get in this pendant, and also the fact that it's mostly gold with little pops of blue. So I was trying to get that going with this and using those. So now let's do something with these guys, and I had that shorter length of chain. Actually, I've got another one too. Let's get these to the same length. Or even just a little bit shorter maybe. Yeah. I'm gonna actually snip both of these to be a little bit shorter. There we go. And the length that I'm doing for this one is about 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch length of chain here. And I'm going to do a couple of links with these, but I'm going to do one side with a small loop for the chain, and then the other one with a little bit larger of a loop so that I can fit an ear wire through it fairly easy. So let's get my tiny loop first. Sometimes it is perfectly fine and good to have unbalanced loops, one side that's larger than the other, you know, if there's a purpose for it, whether it's an aesthetic purpose or not, it can definitely help. All right, so this first part is exactly the same as before. And now I need some ear wires though. Do I have some that I already made up that are handy, or did I use all of those? Looks like I used all of the ones that I had made up previously. So nope, I did not use all of them. Aha! I have a couple of ear wires here. Let me find two that are well matched. I think I like these two. Okay. So now to make the bigger loop, I'm still going to do the same thing where I bend it over. Only I'm going to measure the full 1 centimeter from the bead. I like to measure against my finger because I know from experience that that's about 1 centimeter. So it's just a longer piece of wire, and I'm going to go further down the barrel in order to make my loop. So tiny loop, tiny loop. And these also need to be parallel. Okay. So bigger loop, tinier loop. Let's do the same one on this one. That one's a little bigger than the other, but that's totally okay. All right, now I've got these jump rings. Let's attach our chain to them. These came on the charms. These pendants go through the loop, go through the loop. Why aren't you going through the loop? There it is. That round nose pliers are awkward to hold the other end of a jump ring with, so I'm swapping out to a different pair of pliers. They can sometimes work in a pinch, but sometimes it just gets real fiddly. I'm going to take this tiny end of this link, tinier end, get that chain on there. There we go. And ear wire. So it's dangly, but it's not too dangly. All right, let's do this last one and then we can wrap this up. Go. Come on, friend. Oh man, you're putting the dang and dangle. There we go. It's forward facing, yep. All right, so here we have the finished set. First thing I'm making with the Bohemian Nights bargain bead box. If you're interested in subscribing to bargain bead box, it is the best value for money bead subscription out there. You always get tons of gorgeous, gorgeous beads, check glass, gemstones, crystal findings, and they're always really beautifully curated to a theme. And they are one of my favorite bead boxes to work with. Absolutely love them. If you want to check them out, I will put a link in the description below. Go ahead and look at whether or not that bead subscription will work for you. There is a coupon code you can use, also in the description, that will give you a discount off your first month subscription with them. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. Go check out Jenny's unboxing if you haven't already. And until next time, happy beading.